welcome to my channel on the best of fantasy. This is the week that was. And it has been another great week on the channel. I had a fantastic time talking with Alan from the Library of Alexandria for Dear Dr. Fantasy. That video came out on Tuesday. It was just a load of fun. Plus, Alan and I just kind of unleashed all of our true feelings about the education system, and I think that part probably resonated with the most people who watched the video. We got a lot of comments about our discussion of the educational system. It's not all gloom and doom, folks. I think we are doing a lot of things. Well, let's just put it this way. There are a lot of things we could be doing a lot better, but there are a lot of dedicated people, of course, in education. So people like Alan, and they make a huge difference in a lot of individuals' lives. And I think that is something we always need to bear in mind. Many of us can think of teachers who inspired us and who were responsible in some fundamental ways for the course that our lives took. So I am personally very grateful to my teachers, and they are really brave, wonderful people who go into that field for the most part. So yeah, that was a great discussion. We talked about, of course, other things. D&D was another big topic that we talked about there, reminiscing about the good old days when we were youngsters, being introduced to D&D, which was in many ways a gateway to fantasy for a lot of people. For me, I actually read Tolkien probably a little before I played D&D, but the two definitely coincided to make me the fantasy lover that I am today. And I think that's probably true for a lot of people, a lot of us. D&D was certainly more than just a supplement to our love of fantasy. And it's a wonderful thing to reminisce about. So we had a great time doing that. And possibly we might even be doing, who knows, Alan may be DMing on Booktube. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, it was a fun discussion, had a great time, and from the comments, I think a lot of people really enjoyed watching that video. I also put out this week a review of An Autumn War. That is book 3 in the Long Price Quartet numbers. You know, me and numbers. Book 3 in the Long Price Quartet by Daniel Abraham. And I absolutely am, just as I said before, with each of the books I've read so far in this series, deeply impressed with Abraham's character writing. Fantastic job with the characters and the relationships between the characters. That is certainly the central focus of the Long Price Quartet, is the characters. And he is really good, very skilled writer when it comes to that. And in many ways, I think a lot of the other elements of the book, such as the action, really do serve the character development. That's actually reverse from probably the majority of fantasy these days, I would say. The character work often serves the action. Here it's clear that Abraham's priority is delving into the psychological depths of his characters and showing us their conflict and making us feel conflicted about these individuals who are in so many ways so flawed and so relatable. So he does a brilliant job with that. And it's a great series for people who love character-driven stories. If you're somebody who likes that constant action, probably not so much, because he does take his time with not only the character building, but also the world building, which I admire greatly in this series too. So great stuff. Also on the thumbnail that I put out for that particular video, something I just want to remark on. I think, I could be wrong about this, but I think that most people did not notice the alteration that my daughter Reshma made in the original photo. I believe this is a photo of the audiobook of An Autumn War. And if you look at the actual original photo of the audiobook, you'll notice that the thumbnail that appeared for my video has a slight alteration. And I think a couple people noticed that. One of them being my own father, so he doesn't, I don't know if that counts or not, but I think it slipped by most people, which maybe is a testament to Reshma's thumbnail making skills, because I think that was a pretty seamless alteration that she made. I'm finished reading Tolkien's translation of Beowulf, which was so much fun for me, and I've been talking about how it's a combination of some of my greatest passions, Beowulf being one and Tolkien being another, and so it's something that just is, you can't miss, right? For me, it was a lot of fun, and I am so looking forward to chatting about this with Mike, which is actually happening probably as some of you are watching this video. I am chatting with Mike, and that recording, I don't know when it will be out on his channel, but I would expect in the not too distant future, that discussion on Beowulf with Mike, Tolkien's translation of Beowulf specifically, but I'm sure it will be a fairly wide-ranging discussion, and I'm really excited for that to see what emerges, and I will probably, as I've threatened many times, break out into some Old English as well. So, also, I will be in a live stream. Oh, I forgot to mention, yes, before I talk about the live stream, which I'll get to in a moment, what I'm going to read next. I had thought about this, and a couple people urged me, a lot of people have been urging me, read Rage of Dragons, so I'm going to do it. I'm going to finally jump in, probably start tonight after recording this, and we'll see what I think, finally. I've been kicking this one down the road so many times on my TBR, so I will feel less guilty about that if I get this one under my belt, so that'll be a good thing. And I'm very curious to see how I find The Rage of Dragons by Evan Winter. So yeah, I'm excited for that. So that's what I'm reading next. So yeah, elsewhere on Booktube, I didn't appear anywhere this week. So nothing to report there, but lots coming up. I already talked about the discussion with Mike, so that's going to be a lot of fun. The live stream that I was about to mention. So yes, that. The live stream on An Autumn War by Daniel Abraham. Third book of the Long Price Quartet. We are having our discussion on Sunday at noon Eastern Time. So that is tomorrow, essentially. As you're watching this, it is tomorrow. That's Sunday at noon Eastern Time. That is 5 hours behind Greenwich Mean Time. So I hope to see those of you who are fans of the Long Price Quartet participating in the chat of that live stream, which will be on Sarah's channel, Sarah Reads. So I will put a link to her channel below. I haven't yet seen it might be out, maybe as I'm recording this, the announcement from her about the live stream. So I'll try to share that as well if I come across it. So yeah, I'm very, very excited to talk with Sarah and Alan and Andrew and Nico and Zara. So that is going to be a lot of fun on Sunday at noon. I am also going to be recording a discussion with another group of booktubers, and I mentioned this one in the last episode of the week that was, and this is going to be the discussion on women writers, focusing primarily on fantasy, science fiction writers, but it's all about women authors, and this is an offshoot discussion of something that was organized by Benjamin, and it was called February She Wrote, and I'm going to have him talk about that some, and the other booktubers who are appearing participated in that, which was essentially reading women authors in the month of February. So we're going to hear about what they read, we're going to hear about their favorite women fantasy sci-fi authors, and some other fun things, I think. So that's going to be a really interesting discussion, and that discussion is going to include, of course, Benjamin from Literature and Lo-Fi, and Josefina from Fina Reads, and Ercy from Cersei's Booked, and my buddy Bryce from Shelf Centered. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that. That video I'm going to put out on my channel on Tuesday. So look for that discussion of great women authors on Tuesday. And also, I have some Dear Dr. Fantasy episodes lined up. Next is going to be Sarah, as I have announced, from Sarah Reads. I'm very excited to talk to her, especially since she started the Malazan series, the Malazan Book of the Fallen. So yes, Sarah has read Gardens of the Moon, and I am so eager to talk to her about that and many, many other things. Of course, I want to talk to her about Dark Tower and other things, Stephen King, and just about life and books and everything else. So I'm so excited for that. And I have people lined up for Dear Dr. Fantasy at this point all the way into June. So yeah, that is exciting to me that people want to talk to me, and that this series is doing well. It's really thriving, and that's because of you guys, but also because of all the wonderful people I have out there to talk to. And there are so many more. I am subscribed to around 200 booktubers at the moment, and I would dearly love to talk to all of them at some point or other. That's going to take me a little while. Let's see, 2 a month, 200, it's too much math. But you can tell I'm going to have to be around for a while to get to all of them. So, yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, though. And I'm happy that people want to participate in that. Another thing I want to mention, I mentioned last week, I have a little more information on now. The charity Jeopardy that I will be participating in is probably going to happen on April 10. So that's about a month away. But it is something that is, I think, very worthy of support. And it is something I hope that people will find that they want to support as well, and come out and watch and donate toward. There'll be more information coming on that, but it is something that it's going to be a lot of fun too. The Charity Jeopardy live stream that will be taking place on April 10. I am very excited about that, especially given the people who are participating along with me, and I'll be sharing more information about that as we approach. I want to acknowledge the organizers of that. I am just one person who's been asked to participate, and am doing so enthusiastically. So I hope that's going to be a very successful event, and I'll be promoting it as we get closer. And then the other thing I'm not telling you anything about yet, again, but I want to tease a little bit here. Forgive me, please. The secret videos, they're coming soon. The secret videos of mid-March. So this is my little idea of fun here. I will be making these with not just alone, though. I can tell you that much. There will be some other booktubers involved, and I hope it'll be a lot of fun. It's a little bit loose at the moment. I don't have exact plans, but I anticipate it'll be a neat thing. So you'll see soon. You'll see in, well, let's see. Probably the first of them might come out in a little more than a week. So, or a week or so, perhaps. Yeah, I think maybe you might be seeing some of them in a week from now. Why not? We'll see. So, I'm sorry to be so coy about that. In other news, I am staying busy with my writing and enjoying it thoroughly. I am actually mostly right now preparing for the pitch for my agent to try to sell these books to a publisher. So that is actually quite a process. I am participating in that to some degree, and my agent gave me some homework to do. So, so I'm doing it with excitement. And I feel good about this. I feel really fantastic about it, actually. It's a lot of fun to be doing this, but I am optimistic as well. So, yeah, well, I will be reporting more on that as things actually fall into place. But I am moving on that, and I'll be excited to share news when it comes. So, thank you so much for watching this, for supporting this channel, for being there for me, and watching my videos, and throwing in some comments, and just being so supportive and wonderful. Until next time.